Some of you are aware that the C.A.T. Diaries is part of Terra Promise, which is my blog and project to increase and enhance sustainability education here in Chiang Mai, in Thailand, and in the world. And the question that I recently asked myself is, what is the connection between the C.A.T. Diaries, TCD, and Terra Promise, TP? How does TCD change the mission of TP, which has been my personal mission? And that mission is to educate and empower wise and loving Earth stewards. Well, it's simple. I'm an Earth steward, and I want to invite, encourage, and inspire others to take on this role and responsibility as well. Stewardship is at the heart of TCD. I am acting as a steward to these remarkable creatures that I call my cats. Now, of course, as all true cat people know, they are not my cats. I'm their human. They are wild in nature, but find themselves in a tame environment, and thus must learn to adjust. I help them with that adjustment, which means I must be familiar and conversant with both my own wildness and my own tameness, the part that precedes civilizational strictures and the part that succumbs to them. I provide a context, a tame environment for my cats in which they feel safe, secure, and content, yet one which accommodates and celebrates their wildness. And as in any true mentoring relationship, it is reciprocal. I am mentored as much as I mentor. I help them with their tameness, and they help me with my wildness. There's something about wildness as more and more are discovering as they turn away from the limiting and destructive aspects of these civilizational strictures and towards the inherent wisdom, beauty, and harmony of our primal origins that has vast and profound implications for humanity and the dire circumstances it faces. With the size and scope of the many global conundrums facing us, is this wisdom and harmony needed? You bet your life it is. In my perception and experience, the most important questions we face right now as a species, and because of humanity's grotesque, exaggerated impact and influence upon the Earth, all species, and all life on this magnificent yet beleaguered planet of ours, that cannot be answered by even the best and brightest of human intelligence and ingenuity. We must turn to a source of wisdom that has a 13.8 billion year track record of being truly sustainable. So, what are these questions? Are our current ways of life as a civilization sustainable? If not, what would sustainable ways of life look like? What happens if we continue to ignore our unsustainable ways and the means of creating more sustainable ways? What might happen when we have the courage to acknowledge and relinquish the outdated beliefs that drive our unsustainable ways? Deliberately adopt the new beliefs that have been proven for millennia to manifest sustainable ways of living together in harmony with the earth. In order to answer these questions with the depth of candor needed, we must turn to sources, tools, other than those that we have relied upon up to this point, and which have created the countless conundrums that currently loom over us. These are the mind-made tools, tools of the ego, springing from our core beliefs about the world, our cosmology. Are we weak, separate beings living in a hostile world, inherently evil, greedy, and aggressive? Do we need to protect and defend ourselves and what is ours, to take from the world, from the earth, from each other, in order to ensure our survival? Or are we immensely powerful, intimately connected, and inherently empathetic and cooperative beings beyond any and all attempts to fully realize and articulate? Obviously, the answers to the questions will look vastly different from each different perspective. This leaves us at a critical juncture, a moment of truth, so to speak. We must choose. Consciously or not, we all choose our cosmology, which worldview we embrace, and the implications of this choice are profound. Do I believe in an inherently malicious universe or one that is fundamentally beneficent? As for me, I choose the latter. I choose beneficence. While none of us can ever state definitively the answer to this question, I would rather die with a core belief in the inherent goodness of creation and its creator, its source, and with a deep contentment and fulfillment that springs from acknowledging that I spent my life energy trying my best to embody, express, and enhance this beneficent power. Then with the terror upon exiting this incarnation that my life really had no meaning in the face of a meaningless, malicious world. I so appreciate and celebrate the wild wisdom that helps me make this choice over and over, again and again, as the mind-made forces heave and hoe, as they prove to be inadequate to deal with the predicaments they have created. For me, the choice is clear. One choice leads to despair, the inevitable result of the predicaments the ego creates. The other to ultimate hope, the deep assurance that any mind-made predicament can be unmade, but not by the mind. As Einstein reminds us, a complex problem cannot be solved at the level at which it was created, but only within a new paradigm. The mind-made world, its machinery, and the predicaments they produce can only be unmade by that which created it, that which created all of creation. What is that? Perhaps a subject for another essay, and certainly not within the scope of this one. But evidence abounds. As I take the time to pause, notice, really notice, the multiplicitous splendor of creation, to fully feel and revel in the deep cellular and psychic awareness that creation, this wild and wonderful creation, is me, and I, creation. And in that deep awareness and exquisite experience, all is well. I am deeply blessed, and blessing flows forth from me, encompassing and enriching all of creation.